I didn't even have my mic unmuted. Let me fix that issue. So if we look at Nvidia is working on itself, and I think Nvidia is going to find a way to kind of give us a nice little bounce to that upside. And if it actually gives us that bounce to that upside, we're probably going to go ahead and take off. But if we look at this chart, it looks like we're just consolidating sideways. I kind of got butchered a little bit because this thing didn't really break out the way I wanted it to. But where it is right now, it should be something that is, it's just make or break. We're going to get a consolidation. We're probably going to get that news. And as soon as we get that news, it's just going to go ahead and explode to a direction. It could be the upside, it could be the downside. Whatever the case may be, we're going to go ahead and make somewhat of a major move after Nvidia's earnings, because we just been sitting and consolidating in that area. If we go over to oil, this is oil, and I was kind of giving out a warning, like we did not get that 70 level, and I was thinking it was going to try to come back and recapture this area, but I did think that they were going to try to get at least the fair value gap. It looks like they rejected it a little bit before it, and I don't know. This is just a very, very long and boring. There are some ranges, but if you're going to invest into oil, it's just going to be almost impossible. This is just a consolidation the whole entire time. Maybe a bear flag ish, right? Kind of like this, a massive bear flag. I kind of was looking at this last night like that, and maybe this is the pole from here down, and then we just got ourselves a whole entire bounce that could come. I don't know. It just looks very ugly from an investor standpoint. But a day trade, it'll give you some money one way and it goes back the other way. Gold, like I said, gold is at this point where gold is trying to see if it can get some higher highs. I have a lot of question marks down here. I want to see if they're going to retest this 2420. And now that silver is doing this and it looks like it's going to test this trend line, is this an area where we bounce and we continue to that upside, or is this an area that we're going to go ahead and reject at this level? Um, I don't know. I would say I'm not reject, but break through this level. But I don't know. This 50 EMA has held it down, right? So we got a 50 EMA bounce, 50 EMA bounce, and this is kind of like a very ugly. If I go down to like a 1 hour, probably a very ugly M pattern, kind of like this, and maybe they're gonna bust it right here to the downside and get back under that downtrend. That is very possible if we kind of look at it in that perspective. Overall, the only way I'll be bullish in this, other than short-term bullish, is if we come above this level and really break through and start to break this trend. So that's what's probably weighing gold down right now, not making highs. British pound. British pound is coming down, but the market is not. The market is staying still, and this is usually attached to the market. Meanwhile, the dollar is doing this and it's just powering up. Now, I kind of said this before. I was like, we do need some type of retest of the dollar because we just did the death cross, and not saying that we have to, right? Because there's a area where we could just keep on going down and just continue down, right? But sometimes when you get these death crosses, there's a level of support which we are at a very key level of support, which they kind of wick through it, and then we got a second one down here. So let's just zone this whole entire area out. Could it be that they're looking at it like a zone here and they are going to do one of these bounces, test the 50, maybe the 200, and then get the steam to get through, and then we really get a strong dump past a dollar on the British on the dollar? That's a possibility. So that's the part that I'm really curious on the dollar, on what it's going to do. And then the last one is the Russell. Russell looks good. I kind of told y'all this earlier this week. Russell breaks above the order block. As soon as it breaks above the order block, it's going to go ahead and test some levels. It's at that test level. Now we're going to see if it can give that solid bounce to that upside. So we're going to see what happens there. That said, let's go ahead and get ready for NQ. All right. I got my lines already there. Let me get rid of all this. We'll probably redo it again. Yeah, this is trying to be bullish. 4 hour off. Look at that one. The 4 hour just, no wonder we chop so much. Look at this 4 hour. This 4 hour is just sitting at the zero line on this MACD. This is just like the 2 hour. The 1 hour barely made any strides. This is like really, really tough areas. Let me see what the 15-minute. Everything's kind of like converging. We're just right here in the middle, just holding on that MACD. So we're probably going to get a very hard orb today, especially that NVIDIA earnings did not come out. It's going to come out tonight, not this morning. Oh, let's go ahead and see what's coming up. My FX book. We have ourselves. We have ourselves oil. We just had mortgages that came into effect. It looks like applications are going up a little bit. The index going up. 30 years is now 6.4 instead of 6.5. Still not enough because the economy has been a little bit on a standstill, especially when it comes down to housing. But if we could get that rate down into, I don't know, like 5.25, maybe we'll get some people starting to really put their applications in a little heavy to buy some homes, assuming that they can lock in some of the rates. I don't know. We'll see. We will see. Got my tablet doing some funky stuff. Come on, behave. There we go. All right. Okay, so let's go ahead and get ourselves together with NQ. Let's get this out the way. We got 2 minutes 38 seconds till the market opens, and we just been chopping, sloshing around here. 10:30, that oil stock is probably gonna make CL do some dances, so we'll see what happens there. Oh, and then also we do have tomorrow, after NVIDIA's earnings and all the chaos, 1, jobless claims, 2, GDP, so that's going to be interesting, and then you're going to get some pending home sales and some bond auctions. You got a couple of Fed speaking, I think 1 in the morning, no, just 1. We got 1 in the afternoon, so that Fed speech is going to talk, and then we got PPI on Friday and some of the European growth rates as well. Do we get unemployment? Because it'll be the last. We might get, no, we got Michigan sentiment. Yeah, we just got Michigan sentiment. So we're going to see what Michigan sentiment has, and then we got the core PCE with the PPI. So that's the one that's going to be probably the one that kind of slams us home for the week. So good time to make some money in the market. Really, really good time to make some money. All right. Seems like this slide is a little darker. All right. We got ourselves a minute. Let's go over here. I kind of have this downward trend line. This one is built on just the action on the daily here, because I felt like we're just compressing price. We're probably going to have to get some steam to kind of break through this trend. It really looks like a bull flag breakout on the daily. It really does. And then we kind of had this gap that we filled. Is this the bull flag breakout? So that way we can get above here and start to really fill this gap here? Maybe. Maybe. All right, let me go ahead and get my drivers basic so I can look at the Qs at the same time. Let's get rid of these drawings here. And right now we don't have nothing established, so I'm going to pull this back. Actually, not that far because I still need it. Let me bring it close to the price action. And let's get to the 15-minute. We got 12 seconds to market open. Good luck, everybody. Be smart. Don't force nothing. The market is your friend. All right, logged in here. Oh, I didn't log into my Thinkorswim. So no bell today. Because that Thinkorswim bell be like ding, 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 ding. It's loud. Oh, my Discord is going off. Let me go ahead and shut down my Discord so it don't drive y'all crazy. All right, we get a little bit of a pop to the upside first. That should make things interesting. Where is that bad boy? Because I am logged in already on my futures here. Okay, boom. Nice pop. Nice pop. But I feel like this is going to be a short-lived pop, but we'll see. We only take the market that they present to us. We do not force the market to do anything that we can't control. All right, so we kind of have our base for right now, and with this wick on this first minute, we got that. So that's the start for the 1 minute. See what happens, what they do with all this information. Mm-hmm. All right, I'm gonna see what's going on with oil. Oil's still dropping. Let's see what the dollar is doing with its first 15 minutes. It should be dropping, right? Not really. Look like it's in a holding pattern. What's the British pound doing? Oh, British pound is continuing to drop. That's what I'm saying. We're so detached. So detached. British pound is going down. Meanwhile, NQ is going up like that. So detached. Very interesting. All right, let me go log in my Thinkorswim. I did take some ES or SPY or SPX overnight puts, but they look like they're gonna get butchered. That's okay. We're just gonna have to accept it for what it is. I'm down 8%. We'll see what happens. Thinkorswim. I don't think it's swim yet. Let's go over to NQ. What do you have for us, NQ? What's the party? We got about 11 minutes left in this candle. Let's see what happens. Make sure this is working. Actually, I need to move you out the way. And out the way. Oops, not out the way. Let's just grab the group. There it is. Oh, I got on different sides. Let me fix that. Boom and boom. Alright. That's perfect. That's set up. Nope, not that. Very rangy. Very rangy. All right. On that note, let's go and check out some stuff. So I'm still curious of what's going to go on with Papa John's. Papa John's had a nice little pop just recently. We got into this area, but you could kind of see that there's this order block that's sitting right here. Still toying with my position. I had some September calls that I took very late, and then they pulled back deep on me. But I was very conscious on what I thought would happen with this, and it actually panned out um, quite nicely. I really like where it went. But if we look here, you can see we kind of was coming back down here. We had a nice little bounce off this trend line. I want to see if this is going to be our doji. Is this going to be the area that everybody is very interested in? And if that's the case, then maybe we'll just hold and this is our support. So I want to see. Maybe we knock out 50 bucks. That's the goal. We already tested it. We haven't really sold. Overall, this thing has been on this downward slide. Is this the bottom? Came for the fair value gap here on the weekly. Got one more here, one more here, one more here. And got solid earnings. See what happens. Very, very, very interesting. We got 2 days into this. It's done. All right, let's go back to NQ. And then we'll go to some tickers after. Let's see. Did it give us our 15-minute area? That top area is giving up their lunch. Is it catching up to the British pound, or when the British pound takes off, that's when this takes off? Maybe. Maybe. Let's see what the dollar's doing. Dollar looks like it's trying to get through. Nice W. I didn't even notice that. That looks like a nice W. Let's see if we can measure this out. See, that one's lower. Yeah, they're about the same. About this peak. Probably by here. We're at roughly the 58% of that measure move. Is it enough to get us all the way up out of the block? Maybe. Maybe. All right, back over to NQ. Still building that lower register. And the funny thing about everything that's going on with NQ now is like, actually, I'll take that back. Let's go to Nvidia, because I did bring that up. Let's look at Nvidia. Here is Nvidia on the daily, right? And their earnings is coming up, but it really looks like this M pattern paid out, and then that's the center pivot for another M pattern, and we're putting in some very, and again, I'm not saying play earnings. Do not take this with a grain of salt overall. But if you look at Nvidia, it just looks like another bigger M is being formed, and whatever downtrend that we had right here is just being tested, and this is the area that we're dancing on. So is this one that's going to turn into, again, like I said, this is just an idea. Is this a bull flag? Like we're kind of like penning in. Let's do it like that. Kind of megaphones a little bit though. But if we kind of did something like this and called this an anomaly, maybe it's kind of like that. I don't know. It's just one of those very weird things in this consolidation. Not saying for anyone to play this, but look at how that daily looks here, and then look at our daily here on the MACD. Sorry, on this one, and then NQ. Looks very similar. So I feel like NVIDIA is being powered by, QQQs are being powered by NVIDIA. And if we go back to NVIDIA, you can kind of see like NVIDIA is just not, oh, make sure I didn't miss. Okay. NVIDIA is basically driving this. So could it be this is when we finally decide what direction NQ goes? Going to be very fun, later on tonight. Let us go back to NQ. NQ 15 minute. Did we establish ourselves? Still not. We got like 6 more minutes. Still building up that base in the bottom. I'm going to take out this order block. I'm going to see if we can find another one. Let's do a 2-hour order block. Let's see if we can find something there. Kind of we're in one. Maybe that's why we're chopping so much. It kind of looks something like this. Maybe. So, nice little rejection. If this thing makes a lower low, then we can adjust this and call this the pivot for that more downside. But right now, that is not the case. This is our pivot. And that's the area they had to take out so that way they could really get into this area. Let's see if they reload at this block. Alright, so we got ourselves 5 minute, and that 5 minutes starting to really put some pressure on this downside. Oh, we're back at that block that I just drew. Let's see what happens there. Let's call it this low here. Alright, and let's run through some tickers while that's happening. Starbucks is not chilling. Starbucks is not chilling at all. Had a nice little pop towards the end of the day. I'm not a fan of this level again, because even though they might, oh, they already did. They recaptured this drop off this earnings. Not a fan of it. I really think we gotta at least address, is this strong? Because whenever I see these like wide double gaps like this, it's just way too attractive for traders. So I don't want to be the one holding the bag. Clorox, this looks good. Just looks really good. Their earnings was solid, a little light on the revenue, but really well-ran company. So this one's a good ticker to kind of keep an eye on. And then you already know Great White Buffalo, UNH. I just need you to give me a nice little retracement, but we'll see what happens on that one. All right, let's get back over to NQ. I'll pull up the Bears next time. Yep, like I said, reloaded the block. There you go. That could have been a nice little quick scalp right there. It's a 2-hour order block, and it's real balanced too. Unless these people are out of the market, I don't think we're gonna just fall right through this thing. I can see some lingering orders being under here, but this is the true chop right here. Yeah, especially with that data here. Oh yeah, yeah. I like this order block. I like this one for the day. We'll see what happens as the day pans out. So let's talk about some levels. What would we be looking for in the event this thing does something outstanding? I'm gonna go back to the 2-hour again. I don't know. I don't know. On the upside, I would say. Let me squeeze this chart in a little bit. I got rid of all the drawings. Get out of there. This candle. So, 480 again. I think that's probably the play. The play upside maybe 480. Downside 200 is going to probably bring us to 470. So 480, 470. Let's keep it simple this time, especially with all this compression that's happening in the market. Let's go ahead and get there. We're going to get ourselves today. Pretty sure with all this consolidation, the premium can't be juiced. Ooh. Maybe I lied. All right, let's keep this on. Let's look. Yeah, this is today's premium at the money. That 480 is juiced. All right, be careful, folks. Yeah, there's some cash in here. Because normally when I pull this up, we're talking about $1 to $2 per, and the starting price is around $3 right now. So that IV is up there. Current IV is 18%. It's not as juicy as normal, but normally it's like $1.50, $2. We're at $3 at the money. So 480 is the play I want to go with. So I'm just, you know what? Let me just do that. We're just gonna lock it in. It doesn't mean that we're gonna pull the trigger on it. But 480. Actually, I'm probably gonna have to rebalance that. It's just too high. Because if you get this wrong, and plus it's a 0 DTE, this thing can come back and bite you really, really hard. So yeah, I want to protect y'all at the same time. I almost want to go with 485, but that's just so far out that you would have to probably get out as it starts to rip through. 485 will bring us at the order block that was in August 22nd. And then we have, because even the put side is juiced too. Yeah. 465. Oof. I don't know about that. You're talking about a $10 drop, and then we're kind of in the bullish state in some time frames. But 465 would bring me under the 200 EMA on a 2-hour. See what it does on the daily. On the daily, is under the daily 50 EMA on on QQQ, and that will bring us probably inside of the gap that we created here. So that probably bring us into 19,000. Could we get to 19,000? All right. So that's already done. I'm just processing it. All right, the 5 minute is closed. We got a nice little hammer. That probably could have been a nice little play there. But I am going to wait for candle close. There's still, we're in the order block. If there's any reason to play this the right way, this is a good time to do it the right way with this order block. Yesterday's order block kicked my butt a bit. And probably do it from the futures end just to kind of tweak that. That was a massive drop, actually. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to tweak that. One of my alerts should have went off, and it did not. And I think it's because of timing. Because I try to get 9:30 to calculate. But this one's gonna be. It's gonna be a very interesting one. I think it's going to give us a nice little dump cycle. I'm on that page. I am. We'll see. They're trying to build a base right here around 19,570. It looks like they're not going to get it. Yeah, look at that. Bang. It's so tempting. I want to play this, but I'm going to stick with the rules for everybody. But I think we're going to come down to this level around 540 before we really bounce. This is a lot of pressure that they're hitting them with. We just broke out of what looks like an M pattern on this 5 minute. Maybe get all the way down into here. Maybe even this fair value gap. That would be a good target there. But I'm probably going to have to wait for some of my lower time frame oscillators to reset so I can get a good entry. And I think that's our target. Our target is going to be somewhere around here. I just, the way this IV is built, I just cannot even fathom. I almost want to go with that 465 for real and just see what happens, but it's not the best time to trade this. No, not the way those option contracts are looking. Unless you're gonna pay the premium, like this is, you're talking about maybe for the 480, you're talking about $1. That would be that upside, and then for the short side, $1 is 469. Oof, yeah, this is not gonna be easy. It is not going to be easy. Now, because of Nvidia earnings, they could just sweep us. So they're probably pulling this down. Maybe come back, and this will be a good target too, but maybe somewhere around there. Maybe like just under 500, 19,500, about 50 points or so. And that probably will be the target that they really are looking for. All right, we got 25 seconds, so we're probably going to get a nice little bounce here because this is such a impactful candle. We got 32 points just on that candle alone. I know. Y'all probably saying like, hey, you know, you're waiting for the 5 minute. Like, I want the 5 minute close to happen. Then I go from there. That's just the general rule of thumb. All right, so it looks like it closed. Look like some pullback has happened. I'm gonna take a first shot here. I think they're just pulling this back a little bit. It looks like it's not doing what I expected. Yep, that's the pullback. Let me get out of that. So I got hit with like 45 ticks up where they kind of hit me for that, but that was because I know we're below 50% of that block. So I'm gonna see if I can find a different spot to re-enter, because I think it's gonna be one of those where we build a 5 minute fair value gap, especially with this hammer here. So we can for a spot for another shot at it. That 550 level is the one that's real tough there. Alright. Taking that explosion. Let's see if we can get another explosion down. Alright. Okay. It just hit the target and just bounced right back up. Alright, they're being difficult on that level. They are being really, really difficult on that level. But we're almost out of that block. So this thing might just chop all the way. Because that 5 minutes pointing straight down. If we go to the 15-minute, this one is just like party just started on the MACD. And looks like they're getting a little toppy area here. So I'm going to see if we can get up to that 50 EMA. Let me see. Oh, actually, not even 50 EMA. Right where we kind of broke out of this M pattern here. You know, 50 EMA on that time frame is way too far. Let me see. Where is it on this chart? There goes my 50 EMA. Turn it on. Yeah. They're trying to hold that 550. Let's see if they can. Come on, baby. One more leg and then we good. Just didn't give the long one leg. Come on. You're under it. Almost. So what I was looking for was if we had that one more leg, it probably would have broke right through that level and then continued out of the order block, but they kind of bounced that bad boy up. Tough orb. Very, very, very tough orb. Very tough orb. Still think there's more downside here. Probably waiting for a new 5-minute candle before they do it. Let's look at the 5-minute here. Kind of did like a morning star that they're aiming for, but I don't think it's going to pan out. Yeah, they just blah on that one. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So that's the. So I think we might go outside of there, right? So that 465 again, still, it's still juice. This is just looking so bad. I can't even fathom that. I thought we could at least, you know what? Maybe 10 o'clock. Maybe 10 o'clock is when this kind of calms down. Very tough. Or I wanted more of an impact. If you were on futures, it did give some really, really, really good ticks to the downside, and then we just got this nice little bounce here. Alrighty. So I got a nice little alert that just told me that we're probably gonna pop up, which we did, roughly around 9:56. 9:56, nice little pop up. It's probably just retracement. We might just bear flag this bad boy. So patience, patience. I like the wicks that we're put in here because it's like they're like, hey, we got a fair value gap, we gotta go test it. All right, cool, we're gonna go test it. When they got there, they realized that there was more sell orders up here, so now they're probably just repositioning themselves, and we might break back under 550. But the Stoke is starting to crawl up here. But the 15-minute looks like that, but we're not coming from the top side of the Stoke. And in the 1 hour, this could be the one that really tells the story. Again, it's choppy because we're at the zero line, and that's where I'm like kind of sitting back a little bit. We'll see. I want to see maybe we break out of this like that, something like that. Nothing looks like we're going to play either way. Oh, oh, we back into the fair value gap. Are they going to recapture the rest of the fair value gap? Yep, this might be it. But that order block will be tough. So I'm waiting. I think 10 o'clock we're going to get less of this whole premium juice crap. We'll see what happens. Yeah, it kind of looks like a channel, right? That's what I was kind of pointing out. So I'm thinking if we break out of that, that's probably going to be the catalyst that kind of brings us right back down again. Took a light position. It looked like we are trying to get through it. See if we can get under that order block. Oh, look at that one. Hold that move. Hold that move. Hold that move. Stop retracing. Let's get through the bottom of it. Let's get through the bottom. 27. Come on. Can you do it? Because if this thing breaks through the bottom here, this thing just leaks right on through. But I think they use that as a support area. Again, very choppy area. Very. Oh, could this be it? Come on, come on. Because I want it to be under this trend line, right? And what I want to see is that we attack it so much that we take out this. And then if we come over to the 15-minute, we come into here. But this could be the order block in itself. That's the part that gets real tricky here. Because we got 1, 2, 3, 4 candles that built that block. Did we build up enough momentum to get through that? And it says that is not the case. And I'm still holding on because I feel like we're just retesting it. Might have to give that up. Oh, 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 oh. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Let's finish this dance. Let's finish this dance. Get under that block. They're starting to get back above that doji itself. I might have to go ahead and chop that and call it a day. Almost did. I'm risking just about 200 bucks on this trade because I was looking for 200 to print out like 700, and it looks like that is not going to be the case. A few more ticks and I'm probably going to be out of this. I'm negative like 140, 145 now, as much as 300. And come on. Come on. Alright, that. Alright, give me 1 second. I gotta get the computer to my little one. Alright. Now this one wasn't one that I wanted to wait for the 5 minute to close below my trend line here, right? This was one that I wanted to see just continue and we finish with a full candle. But with this bounce, it's making me think that they're going to go ahead and test something else up here. And maybe that bearish side of it is not going to pan out. We'll see. Just patience. That one, the last one I lost like 230, 240. Alright, we're going to get a new 5 minute candle here. Let's see how far they try to take this back up before they reject it. I think this is going to be a first stab to try to bring this back down again. See how this part pans out. So what I like about this is that we penetrated, made a lower point by trying to get out of that block. And what I'm seeing is, do we recapture this wick? So I'm going to take a stab at that because I think we can get out the order block. So I'm going super light again because this is going to be high risk, high reward. And plus the strength of the orb. Oh, that was not what I expected. So that way I can be able to add more. Yeah, they took off And now I'm gonna have to decide. Let me see. I'm down $9. Okay. I'm probably gonna wait. I have to wait till we get past this week before I consider getting any more. Yep. There we go. 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 Come on. Get as much as you can. That was a tough one. Let me get out of that one. Oh, oh. Did not mean to reverse that, but I'll take whatever I got. Okay, boom. All right, so that was a good solid trade. Let me see how much. Okay, so I'm down only $50. So what I wanted was that it just closed without any type of retracement, but the retracements was deep as I added more into that position, and it was right after the wick, so I didn't want to get close anywhere in there, but it was coming back a little too fast. So I think that this order block here is putting more pressure inside of there. Now, the 5 minute does have a rest of a fair value gap all the way down to this level. I think that's where the bulls kind of stepped in for a second, but I still think we're trying to find a way to close outside. If we get a close outside of here, I might get another position. But for right now, I think being able to break even ish and looking for more downside works out. Let me go see if the premiums drop down. Oh, it's still up there. That is amazing. I do not want to pay for 5 deviations $80. Yeah, I'm gonna hold on to that. Unless some type of massive move is about to happen, you see, and there goes that bounce. Could have could have stayed in the reverse, assuming that the order block was that. But I'm gonna see how this 5 minute does its thing, and then my real trade is gonna be inside of here. Let me check one of my alerts. Nope, we did not hit one of my targets. I think the target's gonna be somewhere sub 500. Brings us into like 460. I think we still could go down. Lower highs, lower lows with these wicks. They're just stabbing it each time. Death cross in the 5 minute. Look at that. All right, so we probably wrap this up at 10:15 like we normally do. That's the market. That's the market. There was some solid moves, right? So we got our orb. This was the break. Maybe wait for a retracement. Then you probably get out here. So maybe either this one or this one. So let's just call it halfway. You would have to risk like about 80 ticks, maybe at 40, and then you probably would have got close to 200, like 170 or so, something along the lines of that. That's kind of what I was kind of looking for, but I was looking for it inside of here. Um, with the fact that we're fighting through a block, that's probably why we're having this tough time. Hold on, this thing looks like it's about to set up another stab at it to try to see if we can recapture that wick. Let's see how this would look. Mm, maybe. Yeah, strong maybe. But I think the Bulls are really messing with the Bears that's there. And the Bears are probably going to second guess this a little bit. We may get a higher low wick here. I'm gonna see if I can. Nah, probably be risky, but I want to see it break past the level of 534, and then I probably will short it. But it's almost like we're rounding this bottom. like a falling wedge type thing. Let me come down to the 1 minute. This will probably show y'all what I mean. So we got ourselves a nice solid downtrend like this, and we kind of are doing this, that one, or that one. So price is not really making an impactful lower low. So what could happen? We could round this bottom and flip it, and then this will be our higher low, and then this just continues. I think that's what they're building on top of this block. I don't think it's strong enough, but we'll see. We'll see. Let me go check on my Thinkorswim, because I did, like I said, I had some overnight puts, and I was looking for something crazy to happen. I'm only up. I'm only down 4%. So I'm gonna see if we get through. If we get on top of this block, I might cut it. But if we stay above, I'm below it, this thing can really do a dump cycle. Now we're at the 550 level. This could be a tough area. Is there enough bears here to push this bad boy back down? You see that? So now on the 5 minute, and this is why I teach in one of my classes. Look at that. We're making higher lows, and then we just took that out. That's a higher high. So now this is a point of interest. Point of interest of these bulls. I thought it was working. Yeah, this thing is just toying. I don't think you got enough bulls, folks. I don't think you have enough bulls. So we're gonna get a new 5 minute candle coming in, a new 15 minute, all of that. I think the bulls are giving up. Very interesting thing. Like, so the what I'm getting out of this is like the orb is just putting so much pressure in it. I think there is so much bears that's sitting here waiting, and they're like, man, if this orb prints, we're gonna go right on down to that downside. Is there enough bulls to shake them, hit their stop losses, and flip this? New 5 minute candles here, so let's see what happens here. If this thing makes a lower low here, then I know that that point of interest is probably a little weak. So they're trying to accumulate here. Higher low in the 5 minute, probably flip this bad boy up. I still have one of my alerts, and they were trying to liquidate as much previous bulls as possible, but they might liquidate the bears right here. If we go through this area, we might just go right through the orb. I think this Hammer, this 5 minute hammer. That's the one that made us come down here. I'll give it like 5 more minutes and then I'll leave y'all to it. Again, very, very choppy market. I kind of gave y'all the warning. You see, I didn't pull anything on stocks and options. I don't want theta to kind of kill me on this one. And if we actually got into something, this is probably where we would have, unless we got it at these peaks, right? Or especially on that put side, we would have probably suffered. Actually, let me grab that chart and show you, because I said 465, right? I think that's the one we went with. So 465. This was going to be a very tough one if we try to play this. Look at that. So we said or broke out. When did it break out? It broke out here, and we would have to get in somewhere around 9:55, right before 10 o'clock. Somewhere around there, right? So let's see. Somewhere around 10 o'clock. So if we look here, around 10 o'clock, you're talking about probably catch at 29 cents. Peaked out at 40 cents. Yeah, that's about 33%, give or take. Tough. Very tough. Very tough. Now, if we went with something, what I really wanted to go with was 470. And it's so juiced that I was a little uncomfortable with taking that without, putting y'all in an awkward predicament. So roughly around 10 o'clock. So let's say 119, peak out at $1.50, but you had to deal with it keep coming back to 119 over and over and over, and now we're back at it again. Not cute. Not cute at all. Not cute. So it was a tough orb. I'm starting to like really assess these orbs and seeing if it just makes sense, especially if we're going to be doing it from a stocks and options side, that the premium has to be something that, it can grow. Like that's the whole purpose. We need to be able, but there's so much demand on both sides. This one was very tricky. Like the 465 is sitting at 28 cents. This one's at the 119 again, and it's just at a standstill, just like the consolidation here. What if they spend an hour like this? You don't want to just sit on the trade itself. So maybe we won't find a trade today. Maybe it just consolidates or it just breaks out later on today. Just be sound with your decision. Make sure you're following your plan. Higher low, higher highs. They're going back up again. They're going to try to take out that fair value gap. That's what they really want. They want this area here because they know it is where all the dancing happened. Put in a hammer, sellers are in charge. Some of them probably took their profits, came back to retest, they sold again, and now probably took some of their profits here. I think if we come in here, it's probably going to sell again. 5 does not look cute for it to try to sell it from our end, but it's good to kind of watch to see, do we then take out this or maybe this out. I really think it's really this. I really think it's that. Choppy, choppy, choppy. All right, here we go. Coming for the fair value gap. The liquidating bears and sell off. Because this is that block. Ooh, they said no. Sell off at the 50% of it. Because then if 50% of this ends up being triggered, then they'll tell you that there's still some bears in here, and they're probably going to come back down and test down here. But let's see. All right, they got through that level. That was the level I was very curious about. Turn it into a red candle. Oof, 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 ugh. That's the part. Not a sound situation. You got Stochastic, MACD, all of them telling you, hey, let's go up to the upside, and then you get banged by that because of that hammer right there, and probably some lingering orders that was waiting to short the crap out of it. I thought it was going to be here, but you can see that it was the 50%. Not the most ideal spot you want to trade this. On that note, I bid you a fond farewell. It's been really great doing these trading floors with y'all. If there's something that you want to see me add or you want to see me change, by all means, you can put it on the comment area. That said, I am going to let y'all go. Y'all have a great productive day, and I look forward to working with y'all tomorrow again. And hopefully, it's a lot more sound when the video releases their earnings. We'll talk more. Follow me on Instagram. I'll probably update there. Have a great day.